2 months. That's how long it had been since anyone heard that baby laugh. Doctors were involved. Specialists were involved. And then the golden retriever walked through an open door, and everyone in that room stopped what they were doing. Charlie was 9 months old when the silence started. Not total silence. He cried. He made sounds. He responded to his name. But the laugh, that full-body infant laugh that is one of the most specifically happy sounds a human being can produce, had stopped. Not gradually. Abruptly, in the week following the procedure. The procedure had been routine. A cardiac catheterization to address a minor congenital anomaly that his cardiologist had monitored since birth. Simple, low risk, outpatient. Charlie came home the same day. He was fine by every clinical measure within 48 hours. But something in his affect had changed, and his parents, Josephine and Darnell Crawford, knew it before any test confirmed it. Josephine was a preschool music teacher. She had spent 12 years watching children regulate emotion through play, through sound, through the particular joy of infants discovering that their own laughter made adults laugh back. She knew what Charlie's laugh sounded like. She knew its absence. Darnell said, "Maybe it's just the recovery. His body's been through something." Josephine said, "His body recovered. Watch his eyes." Charlie's eyes, when he was engaged, when he was tracking something he found interesting, had always held a kind of brightness. The lit-up quality of an infant's face when it is genuinely present in a moment. That quality had dimmed, not extinguished, but dimmed. Their pediatrician referred them to a developmental pediatrician. The developmental pediatrician was calm and thorough and said that some infants showed transient regulatory disruption following medical procedures, particularly those involving general anesthesia. She referred them to occupational therapy. She said give it 6 to 8 weeks. They were in week 7 when Biscuit got out. Biscuit was their 3-year-old golden retriever, and he was not supposed to be in the therapy space. Their OT, a woman named Marguerite, who conducted Charlie's sessions in the Crawfords' living room, was careful about maintaining a calm, controlled environment. Biscuit was normally kept in the kitchen during sessions. On a Thursday afternoon in week 7, the kitchen door was insufficiently latched, and Biscuit came through it at his usual golden retriever momentum, trotting directly into the living room with the particular purposeless joy of a dog who has found a new room to be in. He saw Charlie in the high chair. He went directly to the high chair at the speed of a large dog who has decided he wants to be near something. He put both front paws on the footrest of the high chair and raised his enormous amber face to Charlie's level and sneezed. Charlie laughed. Not a small laugh, not a tired laugh. The full body, open mouth, eyes disappearing, shoulders shaking laugh of an infant who has been ambushed by something delightful and cannot contain the delight. It lasted 6 full seconds. It was the loudest sound the living room had produced in 7 weeks. Marguerite froze. Josephine put her hand over her mouth. Darnell laughed too. And then he was crying, and he didn't try to explain it. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you are in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Biscuit sneezed twice more, apparently enchanted by his own effect, and Charlie laughed each time with the same full-body commitment. Marguerite, once she had absorbed what she was watching, asked very quietly if Biscuit could stay. He stayed. For the rest of the session, Biscuit sat beside the high chair while Marguerite worked with Charlie. And Charlie tracked the dog with that lit-up quality. The presence, the engagement, the brightness that had been missing since week 1 of the recovery. At the end of the session, Marguerite sat with her notes for a long moment and said, "I want to try something. With your permission." The next 4 sessions included Biscuit. The research on animal-assisted occupational therapy in infants had not, in 2009, reached the consensus it would later reach. But the core mechanism was already documented. The unpredictability of an animal's movement and expression. The sneeze, the head tilt, the ear position change activates the social engagement system in infants in a way that an animal does not perform engagement. It simply exists, and that existence is inherently surprising. And infants are built to respond to genuine surprise, with the one response evolution hardwired for positive social bonding. They laugh. Dr. Elaine Ogundapp, the developmental pediatrician, reviewed video from 3 sessions and said, "He's back." She said it the way you say a thing when you were not fully certain it would happen. She said, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." Has your dog ever reached your child in a way that nothing else had? Leave it in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Charlie is 4 years old now. His cardiac anomaly has fully resolved. His development is on track across every domain. His laugh, which returned in full on a Thursday afternoon when a golden retriever sneezed in his face, has not gone quiet since. Biscuit still attends 1 OT session per month, not because Charlie needs it, but because Marguerite uses Biscuit with other children who do. And she says there has not been a single session where he has failed to do something unexpected, unhelpful, and entirely perfect. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. On the morning of Charlie's first day of preschool, Josephine caught a photo she didn't plan to take. Charlie in his backpack, Biscuit's enormous face next to his, both of them in the morning light. Charlie's mouth open in the laugh that had been missing for 7 weeks and has not stopped since. She has it on her phone. She looks at it sometimes without a specific reason. She doesn't need one. The next story involves a dog who began waking at the same time every night for 3 weeks, and what was building inside the house while everyone slept.